There are places in the forest that don't follow the rules of nature. Hikers have stumbled upon them. Staircases, standing tall and alone, deep in the woods with no buildings around, no explanation. Perfect steps leading nowhere. Some say they're remnants of forgotten structures. Others swear they're traps, portals, lures. These 3 real stories come from people who found those staircases and made the mistake of getting too close. Story 1. The 30-foot staircase in Oregon. In the fall of 2003, Alex Meyer, a 26-year-old aspiring wildlife photographer, set out alone for an extended backpacking trip in the Willamette National Forest, Oregon. He wasn't an amateur. Alex had hiked through Yellowstone, documented bears in Glacier, and even lived alone for weeks in Alaska's Tongass Forest. But this trip was different. He wasn't after wildlife this time. He was chasing a rumor. On an obscure internet forum for hikers and urban explorers, someone had posted a grainy photo of a massive staircase in the middle of Oregon's deep woods. No railing, no structure, just a 30-foot tall staircase made of red stone, standing like a monument. The caption read only, "Don't climb it." Alex was intrigued. He reached out to the poster, a user called Windtrail, but never got a reply. Others on the forum dismissed it as a Photoshop hoax, but one user claimed to have seen it once in the Three Sisters wilderness. Real, the comment read, but wrong, like it shouldn't be there. That was enough for Alex. He mapped out a route based on the vague coordinates posted by Windtrail, coordinates that led him 10 miles off trail. He planned for 3 nights, packing food, a camera, journal, compass, GPS, and his old Sony camcorder. Alex wasn't afraid of getting lost. He was afraid of wasting time chasing a ghost. The first 2 days were uneventful. Misty mornings, the smell of pine, the occasional echo of elk or hawk. On the second night, he made camp by a quiet stream. As he cooked his dinner, he noted in his journal how still the forest was. No wind, no bugs, no night calls from owls or coyotes. Just silence. I didn't realize how loud nature usually is until now. He didn't sleep well. On the third day, he left the stream behind and followed a deer path deeper into the woods. The forest was thick enough to feel like it was swallowing him. But at around 1:17 p.m., according to his camcorder footage, the trees abruptly parted. There it was. The staircase stood in a clearing, untouched by moss or rot. It was impossibly clean. No leaves, no dirt, not even weathering. Just smooth, dark red stone, with 32 steps leading straight up into nothing. No platform at the top, no foundation at the bottom. Just there. Alex whispered into the camera, "I found it. Oh my God." He circled it, filming, documenting. The surrounding forest was silent, not even bird song. His compass spun uselessly. The GPS froze. He debated climbing it. In his journal, later recovered, he wrote, "Everything in me says not to. It's like my body knows something my brain doesn't. But I came here for this. I didn't hike 30 miles to chicken out." The camcorder footage from 1:34 p.m. shows Alex placing the camera on a tripod a few feet away, angled up at the staircase. He steps into frame, waves once, then begins to climb. The video shows him ascend slowly, step by step. He pauses at step 15, looks down, then keeps going. At step 27, the camcorder flickers. At step 32, the top, Alex turns to look over the forest. He raises one hand in a kind of triumphant gesture, and then he vanishes. No fall, no scream, just flicker, and gone. The camcorder keeps running for 27 minutes. Nothing moves. The forest remains still. Then, at minute 28, the footage cuts to black. His body was never found. A search and rescue team launched a week later when Alex didn't return. They found his camp, his gear, even his journal tucked inside a dry bag. The camcorder was lying at the base of the staircase, which was gone. No 30-foot structure, no red stone, just flat earth covered in pine needles and broken twigs. Investigators dismissed the camcorder footage as an editing trick, possibly staged for a viral video. But Alex's family knew him. He wasn't that kind of person, and there were no signs of foul play, no signs of anyone else involved. What made it stranger was what was recorded on the camcorder after the cut. Exactly 4 hours after the moment Alex vanished, the camcorder switched on again. The image is static for a second, then blurry forest comes into focus. The camera is now facing upward. Someone is holding it. Heavy breathing is audible, and then, faintly, a whisper. "Don't come up." The camera falls to the ground and shuts off for good. For years, the Meyer family begged authorities to reopen the case. No one did. Internet forums still debate the footage, some calling it a masterpiece of analog horror, others insisting it's real, too raw to fake. In 2019, a hiker named Sheila Wren claimed on Reddit that she saw a red staircase in that same part of Willamette National Forest. It looked brand new, she wrote. I took a photo, but it came out black, no data. My phone glitched so hard it reset. I ran. I've never gone back. The post was deleted within hours. Her account too. Sometimes, locals say if you camp near the Three Sisters and walk due north before sunrise, you'll hear footsteps on stone steps. No echo, no voice, just slow, steady climbing in the dark. And if you wait too long, the steps might lead you somewhere you can't come back from. Story 2, the Stone Spiral of West Virginia. In the remote woodlands of Monongahela National Forest, West Virginia, there's a stretch of wilderness that locals refer to as the hollow where time stops. No official map shows this name. It's an oral term, passed down in hush from grandfather to grandson, whispered at campfires with eyes glancing over shoulders. The legend always included a spiral staircase of stone, not one built by miners, settlers, or surveyors, but something older, something out of place. In October of 1988, James Whitmore, a forestry intern with Marshall University, was assigned to survey tree health in that very region. He was 22. Idealistic and skeptical of Appalachian ghost tales. His only goal was to gather bark samples, map logging routes, and return in 3 days. But he returned in 7, alone, dehydrated, and barely coherent. James refused to talk about what happened for years. But in 2009, after being diagnosed with early-onset dementia, he began writing his memories in a spiral-bound notebook, which his daughter would later find. In it was the account of what he found, or rather, what found him in the woods. James had followed a dried-up creek bed into the hollow. He noted that the sun seemed to set too early there, even at noon. As he pressed deeper into a part of the forest where no birds sang and no insects buzzed, he spotted something impossible, a stone spiral staircase, rising 30 feet into the canopy, curling like the spine of some ancient beast. The stones weren't local. They looked polished, metallic in the light. No lichen, no moss. Just impossibly clean, cold stone. And there was something stranger. It hummed. Not loudly, just a low, static buzz that James felt more than heard, like it resonated inside his chest. When he pressed his palm against the base, he wrote that his teeth hurt. Like metal forks scraping bone, he scribbled, and the air smelled like thunder. Despite the mounting unease, he climbed. Not out of curiosity, he insisted, but compulsion. It called to me like gravity pulls the rain. Step by step, he ascended the spiral. The forest faded around him. His breath fogged, even though it was a warm October day. Shadows danced at the edge of his vision, and when he looked up, he saw a doorway. Not a platform, a literal black door, featureless, suspended in air. He touched it. He wrote, "Everything screamed at once. The trees, the soil, the marrow in my bones. I saw memories that weren't mine. A battlefield lit in green fire, eyes in a well, blinking in rhythm. A child screaming underwater, but no bubbles rose, and a staircase that never ended." James awoke at the bottom, drenched in sweat. His notebook said 4 hours had passed, but his watch strangely had recorded 7 full days. His food was rotted. His compass needle pointed straight down, and when he looked for the staircase, it was gone. He staggered back to the ranger station 12 miles away, unable to explain his disappearance. For years, he kept his silence, but the notebook tells it all. Most chilling was the final page. I still see it sometimes. When I sleep, the staircase. It's always closer now. Not in the woods anymore. In the house. In the hallway. Last night I dreamed I climbed it again, and when I woke, I was standing on the kitchen table. The notebook ended there. James passed away in 2014. His daughter, Dana Whitmore, donated his journal to a paranormal researcher who published parts of it online. The entry went viral, and then was mysteriously taken down. But some say the stone spiral still stands, deeper than any ranger dares to go. Locals whisper about campers disappearing without a trace. GPS glitches, a low hum that chases you even after you leave the forest. One hiker claimed to have found a shoe hanging 30 feet in the air, suspended on nothing. They say the staircase doesn't want you to climb it, but if you do, it will follow you home. Story 3. The Floating Steps of Blackwater Ridge. In 2002, a group of wildlife researchers from North Carolina State University embarked on a field expedition into the Blackwater Ridge, a notoriously isolated stretch of forest along the border of Tennessee and North Carolina. The purpose of their trip was simple: track the migration patterns of eastern coyotes recently spotted in unusual numbers. The team consisted of 5 members: Dr. Elisa Brandt, a behavioral ecologist; Mark Rise, her assistant; graduate students Theo and Lila; and local guide Henry Cole, a weathered mountain man who'd spent his life mapping old hunting trails in the area. Henry warned them about dead zones along Blackwater Ridge where compasses spun and radios crackled with nonsense. "This forest don't like to be measured," he said. The team laughed politely, but by the second day their GPS units started failing. At first, they blamed the steep ridges, electromagnetic anomalies, or faulty gear. But then Layla noticed something strange. They kept crossing the same dead squirrel. Same spot, same angle, same broken branch beside it. They were walking in loops, perfectly symmetrical loops, despite moving in a straight line. On the third day, Mark called the others over. He had found something he couldn't explain. Suspended in the air about 6 feet above the forest floor was a set of wooden steps. Old, moss-covered, weather-beaten, floating in midair. They weren't connected to anything. No tree, no platform, just 7 wooden stairs nailed together, hovering motionless like some cruel magic trick. Henry's face went pale. "I've seen them before," he muttered. "Back when I was a boy. Same place, same number of steps. My daddy made me promise never to touch them. Said folks who climbed went missing in the woods, or came back, wrong." Elisa, ever the scientist, stepped forward. She snapped photos. None of them developed, just black void. Then she reached out and placed her hand on the bottom step. Everyone heard it. A knock. 3 short raps, hollow, echoing, from inside the wood. Then everything changed. The birds went silent. The wind stopped. And in the distance from deep within the trees came a sound that would haunt each of them forever. A child's laughter. High-pitched, joyful, getting closer. Theo screamed. He pointed, not at the woods, but at the stairs. A footprint had appeared on the top step. Then another, descending, one by one. But no one was there. The team ran, but the forest didn't cooperate. No matter which way they turned, the floating steps were always nearby, visible through the trees as if they followed from just out of reach. Finally, near dusk, Henry pulled out a tarnished silver coin and whispered something in Cherokee. He threw the coin into the underbrush, and suddenly they broke free. Trees gave way to a clearing. The air returned. Birds chirped again, but Mark was missing. They searched for 2 more days. Then, just before abandoning the expedition, Elisa found Mark's journal sitting on a tree stump. No one had been there before. No footprints, no sign of struggle. The journal only had one new entry, written in a shaky, barely legible hand. "I climbed. There was a door in the sky. It opened. The stairs go somewhere. And now I think I'm not the only one who came back." Mark was never found. To this day, some hikers claim to see stairs hanging in midair near Blackwater Ridge, and those who get too close hear laughter, sometimes just once, sometimes for hours. Locals say the stairs move at night. They wait, and if you're quiet, you can hear someone coming down. Some things in this world aren't meant to be found, and some paths were never meant to be followed. When you come across something that feels out of place, like a staircase standing alone in the middle of the woods, trust your instincts. Walk away. Because sometimes climbing up might mean never coming back down.